Good afternoon and welcome to our current roundtable discussion. In here we have me, Indi, as the moderator, and also the speakers here are Yoga, Welen, and also Erick. Today we are going to discuss about bullying, especially those that happening in high school. So, as we all know that bullying has been very prevalent in high school. In fact, one of the commissioner in Indonesian Children Protection Commission says that these bullying cases, happen in almost every school. The most recent examples of bullying cases that went viral is in Binjai, North Sumatra, where a video of student bullying another student went viral. So, so this actually raises the questions on what on why these bullying cases happen so prevalently, and how and what we can do to stop this, and what the government can do to stop this, and who is the person that should be held legally responsible towards all of these cases. So in this session, we are going to discuss all of those, and now let's move on to the first topic about what is actually happening in school, in high school bullying. So the first yours, yes.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I actually have an experience, like personal experience, being bullied when I was in here in high school, and today today and present, I can recall all those experiences and sort of conclude that people tend to undermine or these case that often takes place in school, but a lot of people still consider that as trivial a trivial problem when it actually brings about so many dreadful consequences. People commit suicides, and then they don't want to go to school. They want to do like homeschooling, to prevent themselves from meeting those people who bully them. And these cases actually really make me sad because these students don't have the rights. They actually have the rights, but other people don't respect the rights, right? So bullying in school takes two forms. The first one is physical bullying, and the second one is emotional bullying. What I mean by physical bullying is the act of like kicking, hitting, shoving, punching, and stuff. And then the emotional bullying has to do with people name calling, mocking, teasing that sort of degrade other people and like demeaning them. If we look at the trajectory of bullying at school, we can see that there's actually an imbalance of power between those who are bullied and those who do the bullying. And this system seems to be based on certain standards. So, for example, that school usually upholds like heteronormatives when people should be either male or female and should be masculine or feminine, and they can't do that at the same time. And thus, people who embrace these two elements are considered deviants, and they are more likely to be the targets of bullying. And also, school that usually upholds like class, where there is like a class division between the rich and the poor, or there's sex division with men and women, as I said, and then religion or culture. So these are all the standards that bulliers usually use in order to sort of to bully other people, because they consider other people different from them, and that creates this bullying in school setting.
Thank you for your idea, Yoga. Now, perhaps Erick, do you have anything to add about Yoga's ideas and about bullying in general?
Behind this bullying process, as Yoga has stated before, that there's a power relations between the weaker ones and the more powerful ones. But in this process of bullying between the weaker one and the powerful one, there is types of characteristics between these two. They are the victims and they are the bullies themselves. The bullies themselves tend to be bullied by other people, and the 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 bully people, they are ones that cannot stand for themselves.
Oh, they cannot defend.
They cannot defend themselves, so they are tend to be intimidated by the powerful one. And moreover, the powerful one, they get the joy of bullying because they can entertain their friends,
Oh,
so the friends can have fun with being watching other people getting bullied. And
yeah. I
then-
guess you mentioned a really essential aspect of bullying. That is when people who are bullied, they cannot defend themselves against those bullies.
Yes.
That's what we call as bullying, right?
That's what and then the fun fact about this bullying that these bullied people are getting bullied by another people.
Creating like a certain
Like,
cycle. Yeah,
Vicious.
vicious cycle.
and what do you think about the effects of this circle and the effect of this bullying to the victims themselves?
So, talking about the effect of you mentioned before, the bullying itself, for the people who are being bullied, is that they tend to show the lack of interest in academic, and also like they are lazy to attend school, and have a sense of sadness, like isolated themselves, something like that. And there is a research from the American Psychological Association in 2010 by Cook, is that he said that the the main risk that happen to the bullies, the people who are being bullied is, themselves, is that they they have lack of social problem solving, something like that. And yeah, so do you think there is something like
I have a question. Is this behavior of this psychological behavior, is there any evidence that this is going to suicidal behavior?
Oh, yeah, of course. Because they tend to be depressed, right? Like I mentioned before, that they like isolated themselves and don't want to communicating with other people. Like tend to be alone, something like that. It can make people depressed, right? So if they have something like problem with themselves, they just keep it with them, and it become hurtful, and to the suicide threat, something like that.
Mm. Well,
Yeah.
Do you recall the Jeremy case, like a self-shooting perpetrated by a student?
Yes,
Who, yeah.
I've read news. In fact, it is was made to a song by Pearl Jam, Jeremy.
yeah.
The case, this kid was very depressed. His mother didn't want him, and his father's abusive towards himself. And then the school, doesn't accept him because he has records of psychiatrist issues,
Okay.
and he cannot come to school. But one day he comes to school, but the teacher didn't allow him to enter the school, and then he just stood in front of the class. The teacher told him to come to the principal to tell her to report that he cannot come to class today. But after around 5 minutes, he came back to the school, bringing a revolver gun, and he said, "I have choose my decision," and then he shoot himself in
He blow his brains out.
Yeah, I guess that's just one case out of several cases that have happened because of bullying in
Yeah.
school. It is just really.
It's very harmful.
Yeah, it's
the
really-
impact
really
of bullying. So,
Yeah, right.
so I think that you guys mentioned several interesting ideas, like what is useful bullying, what else the impact, which as we have our discussions very severe. So, what do you think we can actually do to actually to overcome this problem, to actually to avoid this problem from happening again? So, do you think we should take like the soft approach, like we give them like we give them like education or something like that, or should we actually even take like the hard approach, such as making the students like legally responsible towards the action of bullying, so we can like put them in jail, we can shoot the students or something like that. So, what do you think? What do you think?
Okay. I actually have not given much thought to the idea of getting them involved in legal process, such as sending them to jails or prisons. But I guess people at school settings, they have to define what bullying is, because teasing is actually not bullying. So they really have to come to one definition that makes everything clear about what bullying is. And then I guess we have to educate in a way that we have to tell the teachers and students and everyone at school about the characteristics of people who are targets of bullying. So by then they can detect early what's happening, and they can sort of report it to the school. And that leads to the idea of enacting like school corporal punishment. It can be administered by the school itself, but it can be it can be taken to a broader level. For example, like provincial law or state law, in which students who are bullies, they can be charged with school corporal punishment, which can take form as caning or spanking, which is already done in Singapore. So in Singapore, bullies will be charged with school corporal punishment such as spanking and caning in public. I mean, in school and in the public, in front of their friends, based on the severity of bullying that they perpetrate towards other students. So, for example, a student who physically abuses his or her friend, he or she will be scanned in public with three times of caning. It's really based on the severity of the bullying.
Okay,
I don't think
so
that answers the question.
well, okay, so I think that's an interesting idea that yoga introduced. So, do you guys have any other
I want
ideas
to
on it?
add something. I think what yoga is talking about is the external factors to prevent the bullying. But I think there's an internal factors to prevent the bullying. It is from the individuals of the victims. So we have to encourage them to stand for themselves against bullying, because bullying always happens when there is no authority, there is no older people to prevent the bullying. So it sometimes happens in the toilet or in the cafeteria, in the corner where there is a blind spot that teacher cannot prevent this bullying to happen. So we have to encourage these individuals that tend to be a victim of bullying to be stand for themselves, to fight against this bullying from them. So they have to fight it. If they still afraid of against the bully, it will always happens all the time. They will just be the victim and they can do anything.
So I'm afraid that I don't know. Like I think that it's difficult for them, for the people who are being bullied, to to encourage them like that, because I feel that the people who are being bullied, something like they have been have had a lack of confidence in themselves, and I guess that the most important thing here to prevent that, maybe to give to their parents, probably like approaching, like asking them what actually happened in school. Like they also can be the parents themselves can be a place for the children to sharing something or something like that. So something that is in their heart, that in their comfort, like it cannot be told to other. So when their parents are ready to, they are there to listen to their children. So their grunge or heart feeling, it becomes like let it out. So yeah, they can become better.
So other people can know about what is happening to them.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
other people can care
yeah.
for them.
Care about them. Yeah.
So I think that both of you guys mentioned like very interesting ideas and very different approaches on how to actually solve the bullying. So like Yoga mentions about school, and then Eric mentions about like the individual who is the bully itself, while Welen talks about like the support system, the parents, like that. I think this is actually shows us how actually complex bullying is. Like the causes is complex, and how to solve it is complex. And from all of this discussion, we can actually conclude that actually we need our help from both like the school, the individuals, and also like the support system to actually combat and to actually solve the problem of bullying. Right? So that's the end of the roundtable discussion. So yeah, I'm Indi and
Erick, Yoga?
Welen?
so we are very grateful for your attention and goodbye.